Welcome to The Edge. My name is Carrie Norton and I'm the founder and CEO of Green Business Basecamp. For those of you meeting us for the first time, Basecamp is a 21st century global education company serving entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, and innovators around the world who are focused on solving environmental and social problems through business. On The Edge, we're here to show you that breaking the mold is not only possible, but it's happening all around us, and we invite you to join in the fun. Hi, and welcome to The Edge. I'm Carrie Norton, the founder and CEO of Green Business Basecamp, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be joined today by the co-founders of thrdPlace. Mike Colosimo and DeKoven Ashley founded this company together here in Los Angeles just maybe about a year ago.
Yep, yeah.
And I've been just really anticipating this conversation because of the very local nature of the kind of business that they're building. So Mike and DeKoven are going to talk a lot more about what that actually means, but this is an example of a company that is very local in its DNA and national in its perspective, and I want to talk with them today about that and the genesis of thrdPlace. So, as I said, I've been so excited because this is really an Angelino's company's company. Tell us about how thrdPlace started.
So thrdPlace started out of a couple different perspectives that we had professionally. We're both urban planners and fans of community development, but from different ways. DeKoven started in policy and really working at the ground level with grassroots kind of community organization, working in post-Katrina New Orleans and organizing it at recovery levels, and I was more at an economic development level and working on big projects from airports to cities to universities, and both of us saw this real opportunity and real problem with the way that communities were being served, and there wasn't technology available to organize people. Like in post-Katrina New Orleans, thousands of people there wanting to help and didn't really have a way to organize themselves around any direction. And from the top down, cities were building things, plans and developments that were really not reflective of the needs of the actual citizens they were meant to serve, and not for a lack of intention by the cities or by the professionals that were building those plans, but by just the lack of data that existed around what people actually needed, and the tools that they were trying to use or that they were using to collect that data. So we set out to try to build a data set around what people actually need and what communities want, and as a result, the development of those communities would reflect the needs of their citizens.
Fantastic. So, DeKoven, why Los Angeles and why now?
Los Angeles because we live here. I mean, it is our community. I don't think that's any more sophisticated than that answer. Why now? I think people are starving for the opportunity to understand what agency they have over their communities, to understand that they can affect some sort of change, that if there is a pothole on their street, that they have the tools and the resources to fill that pothole. They have greater aspirations, then they can reach out to tools and resources that can make those aspirations come true.
So you're basically banking on the idea that people are more interested in taking part in helping to rebuild and reconfigure communities around the country.
Yeah, we have a very simple premise that DeKoven touched on, that people want to help, they want to be involved, they want to know their neighbors, they want to have pride in where they live, but they also need a little bit of leadership, and it's hard to be the first one. So part of the model of the platform is really working with organizations that bring that leadership and bring that programming, be they cities, city governments, nonprofits, or for-profits. They all contribute to building community in some way, so we're working very hard to bring them into this thrdPlace community and show citizens the work that they do within communities and invite them to be part of that programming, and so providing leadership to.
And I think what's more, people do not realize how much value there is in how they interact with communities. They don't necessarily understand that relationship. We interact with communities each and every day, the built environment, our neighbors, the neighborhood, and the interests that kind of allow us to draw some identity within that community and such or in turn kind of identifies that community. So on Third Place, people can explore those opportunities to develop not only themselves, but their community to, as Mike has said, reach their aspirations, maybe even actualize themselves.
So give me an example, if you would, of a great project that's happening as a result of Third Place technology today in the platform.
So I'll give one.
Sure.
Right here in LA. One of our biggest sort of group of projects is run by a gentleman named D'Artagnan Scorza, and he has an organization called the Social Justice Learning Institute, and he has a mission right now of building 100 community gardens in the city of Inglewood and planting a couple thousand fruit trees in an effort to make the city and its school districts food sovereign from a fresh fruits and vegetable perspective. And he's mobilizing everyone in the LA community, from the Lakers to the second grader at the local Inglewood school, to come out and be part of this project, this campaign. And we're shooting a short documentary about it, and it's really about bringing community together around a common interest and a common goal, and allowing technology to help organize and scale that.
That's such a fantastic story. So I want to get a little bit more personal here. Tell me about your relationship as co-founders. I want to hear a little bit about how you got together, and what's the good, bad, and the ugly of being co-founders and working so closely together.
I'm going to use a cliche and say that the challenge is the opportunity, and the opportunity is, the challenge. Mike, as you stated before, is, we're both urban designers, but his background is as an MBA and management consulting, and he's also worked in built environment design. I've also worked in built environment design, but I'm an urban planner by trade and touch on policy and community organization. And I think the good, bad, and ugly really comes to play in how we kind of put together these models, because representing both perspectives, we come away with value that the marketplace has not seen yet. And that's what we put forth on Third Place.
That's so amazing. So really it's the part that what is the whole or greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah, we both come at it from very different perspectives, right? And we're motivated by the same ultimate goal, but look at the problem a little bit differently. And it's the challenge some days, and it's also like what's created some really interesting models and functions and solutions. So
fantastic. So what about some advice that you have for other entrepreneurs who are looking to find a co-founding partner?
I'll say just do it. In terms of finding co-founding partners, just get out there. There's an emerging community here in Los Angeles called Silicon Beach. There are a number of co-working spaces that are now trying to give infrastructure to founders so that they can do the work that they are purposed to do. And a lot happens when you simply show up, right? And whether it be online or off, these technologies are emerging. Our expertise is in urban design or community service and development. So beyond just getting out there, I'm going to focus on what we do best here at Third Place.
Yeah.
Focus the advice that is.
And I think the other big thing is don't be afraid to share your story with people, especially within this social enterprise space. One of the most powerful things about what we've experienced starting this and running this and growing it is just the willingness to collaborate and the openness that this entire community has. And people get excited about things that other people are passionate about, and passion is totally, infectious. And that's how you ultimately find the right people to work with, is just by being passionate about what you're doing and not being afraid to tell people about it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to close. I have one last question, which is, what one wish do you either share or have respectively for Third Place?
So I think we talk a lot about this, and a lot of it comes down to the mission of the business. And our wish for Third Place is that as it develops, it inspires people to feel like they have the agency and they have the capacity to be a change maker, to be a leader in their community at whatever level that looks like, and that we stop thinking about where we live and the problems that we have as like a problem of lack, and actually think about it as a challenge of abundance or an opportunity of abundance. And it's really about how are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with how to capitalize on that abundance? And that's like the paradigm shift that we're hoping to create through thrdPlace, and we wish that it inspires that reaction from its users and its audience and its community and everybody who's involved.
Great.
Yeah.
Any closing comments?
No, I think Mike said it best there.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys for being part of this community, for being embedded here in Los Angeles, and for your leadership. And thanks for joining me on The Edge.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.